Good morning and welcome to Morning Coffee with Emerica. As part of our March series in honor of Women's Month, we have with us today a beautiful friend and sister. She's a wonderful mom to three amazing kids, a philanthropist whose community engagement extends to mentoring young women. She's also the president of St. Joseph's Alumni Association and the author of my best book of 2025. But then she smiled. Annise Moses-Isaac. Welcome, Annise, and thank you for doing this.
Thank you, and thank you for having me. I'm excited.
It's really a pleasure. Annise is here to share her story with us, and we hope it will encourage and strengthen other women who find themselves in similar life challenges. Annise, in your book, you talked openly about your life experiences. I loved that, by the way. You talked about death of loved ones, divorce, losing your home, which I know must have been such a traumatic experience, all the things that could break a woman down completely. And yet you found a way to use this to encourage and uplift others who might be going through any of these scenarios. And you did that by writing it all down and ending it with a smile. Wow. I want to applaud you for that. It takes a lot of strength for someone to be able to do that. Please tell us about what inspired you to write this book. What made you get to that point that let me share this story with the world and see how it can help other women?
Yeah, well, thank you. And thank you for reading my book. Thank you for supporting my book. Again, thank you for inviting me. It's quite a pleasure. Yes, I have mine just it has a lot of writings. What inspired me? So I think as we get older, we go through so many different layers and challenges, and it's not unheard of that we go through stuff. But some people just prefer. Some people feel embarrassed. Some people think that it's a big shame to go through.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a taboo. They don't, and I'm not asking everybody to share everything to the world because everyone does not have that kind of spirit. But I've always been a writer. I've been writing since I was, and my mom would say that, and she said that at my official lunch. So I've always been writing, and I tend to write a lot of sad love songs. When I was little, I don't know why. But my personality has always been, regardless of what was going on, I would always use humor to kind of not cover it up, but to encourage other people to recognize that all is not lost. There's always something to be grateful for. There's always something to be happy about. Even if you're going through the darkest moments, you're alive and you're going through something. That is something.
Yeah. Sometimes that's preparing you for what's ahead of you, what God has in store for you.
You say, even the most beautiful garden needs a little dirt to grow, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I get inspired by helping other people. So I actually look my best when I'm going through my worst. And I feel like when I'm going through stuff, I feel like if I reach out to other people, it makes me feel better because I am not sitting in the darkness, I'm helping other people. So it uplifts me. So I was using that to help other people, but also to uplift myself. So I decided to put it all out to let people know that you're not alone. We've all lost things. We all fell in love, we fell out of love, or we got married and it didn't work out. I married, when I married the first time, it was forever, but it didn't work out. You buy a home. I've always wanted to be a homeowner, and it didn't work out. Because other people are going through it, and some people get so depressed about it. But I wanted them to say, see, you can have all of that, lose all of that, and still smile.
Smile. That's awesome. Especially talking about divorce. A lot of people think they have to stay in there, whether the marriage is working or not, whether they're happy or sad. Some even in abusive marriages. So I'm glad to see you showing other women that you can come out if you need to, and you can still survive life, and you can still smile at the end of it. That was a good point for me, and that's what I took from it. Also talking about losing your home. I'm into real estate. I know you that was also your life at one point, real estate. I know how much that means to you. And when I read that part of the book, I actually got teary-eyed because I could imagine what you went through. Yeah.
Yeah.
You talking about the next part, you talked about self-love. You talked about self-love a lot, and I like that. You also mentioned that it's a practice and not a decision.
Yes.
You went further to emphasize that it's a daily practice.
Yes.
So tell us about that, how we can achieve that in the midst of all the challenges and self-doubts we might be facing. How can we grow and build that self-love?
Yes. Well, the first thing about even being the ability to love other people is that we must first love ourselves. If you do not love yourself, just forget it. You cannot love your
And give what you don't have. Yeah.
Yes, you cannot pour into others if you're empty. So I totally am in love with myself. Call it selfish, but I love
in common.
I know we have so much in common. I love myself.
Yes.
Okay. So that was the first thing. And I've always loved myself. And I think it triggers some people because my sense of, confidence, even walking into a room where I don't have all the answers or I feel like I am not at the top, I walk in there with so much confidence. And that's because I love myself. That's because even when you don't, let's say you walk into a room full of all those dignitaries and you don't even understand the topic, if you have confidence, you can
go through it.
To love yourself, you have to teach yourself to love yourself. You have to accept all your flaws. You're too thin, you're too fat, your face is too round, it's too straight. I'm double jointed. My kids make fun of me. So I do tricks with my arms and my legs. People don't know that, but I use it and I make fun of myself. So I've come to love those things about myself that is so imperfect. I have the ugliest feet. And I tell everybody, I said, I said, I don't know what God was thinking. He did all this face. And then he gave me my toes. I'm talking about my toes. So I'm proud of it. So now I've embraced it. You have to embrace your flaws. Accept your flaws, embrace your flaws, talk about it, and then you start to loving every part of you. And remind yourself to love yourself. If you have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, you know what, I'm a bad girl. You have to remind yourself the power is in our hands.
Yeah.
It's an inside job. If you expect people to make you happy, you failed. You failed yourself.
That's true. That's so true. Are there any tricks or any tips you can give to women out there to help in this area? Because I know a lot of self-doubt can let us not love ourselves or see, what others see in us sometimes. Are there any tips you can give out there?
Yeah, well, they might not even like my tips. So I dance a lot on my own.
Okay.
I play happy songs, motivating songs that make me feel powerful. When I am sad, when I am going through stuff, I take so many baths and so many showers, and I think a lot in there. I sing a lot in there. But again, you have to look at take responsibility. When you
That's true.
talk about divorce, and we all talk about divorce. I also like to talk about divorce and friendship.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes that is more painful than divorce.
In a marriage, yes. Yeah.
Friends tell them so much. So
we share so much with our friends. Yeah.
So you have to find a way to love those parts of you and have that friend. I brought the friend thing in because you need somebody that you can talk to. I have sisters, so that's a great thing. But I'm also a girl, so I also love my circle of friends, which is becoming smaller and smaller as you get older.
As we get older, yes.
I think that the main thing is to understand that the power of being happy does not belong to anybody. Someone can get all the most expensive gifts, take you to the finest places, but if you are not being yourself, if you are not being your authentic
self, yes.
All the finest jewelry, the nicest cars, the most luxurious hotel is not going to make you happy. So stop hiding who you are. That's why there are no two Annises. Now, there are multiple personalities in here, but I am very transparent. I'm that happy, silly, professional, corporate girl, reader, writer, speaker, but I'm also that silly girl, and I want people to see me for who I am. The moment you start changing your colors, it affects your happiness. So you have to start
True.
with love, accepting your flaws. I think it's the biggest thing. Find a happy song. Is it exercising? For me, I write, I shower a lot, and I dance a lot. I'm an extrovert, but I'm an extreme introvert. I
I
spend a lot
agree.
of time
Yes.
with myself.
Alone. Yes, 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 yes. That's good. I hope some of those tips will take into account dancing, taking long baths, showers,
Yeah.
accepting our flaws. So those are good tips. Another thing you said that resonated with me because I've been practicing a lot lately, it's the power of no.
Yes.
That, yeah, when I read that section, I was like, that has changed my life in so many ways. Because, like you said, I always wanted to please.
Mhm,
And so I found myself stretching out so,
mhm.
so much. How did you get to that point? And how has that changed you as a person, Annise, being able to say no?
It was so hard for me to say no because I am such a pleaser.
Yes.
I would I would give all that I have and be broke and have given my last penny. Like you would tell me, I love this earrings, now take it right out.
Yes.
You would ask me, I remember I would go to all the events I'm invited to, not because I want to be out, but because
Because you
I have to
you don't
support.
can't say
So I
no.
just started
Yes.
saying no, and it just changed everything. And just explain to people, you want me to help you with this amount of money. Well, let me explain what is going on. I know that it looks like I am doing so
Yes.
phenomenal
Yes.
well, but it doesn't, it's not like that. So I am struggling to. I tell them the real deal. You
Mhm.
invite me to this event. I am sorry. I cannot attend because I don't want to be there half-heartedly because I will be tired from the day before. I never made excuses. I just showed up for everybody, gave everybody everything they asked for. Even if I don't have it, I'll find it. I don't care
Yeah.
if I have to go take into a savings just to
Yeah.
help. But
Yeah.
saying no has made me feel so complete, so powerful. Like I am completely in charge. Because I felt bad saying no, like I was really hurting people that I love, but I'm not. I am
Yeah.
actually loving myself more so I can be a better person for them. Because pouring into people when you're not complete, it's
That's
just,
true.
and that's what I was doing. Just going to all this event and not being happy being there or giving people what I didn't even have or taking my nice earring, even if it's cheap, I like it. I,
You
there's no,
bought it. Yes.
and I would just give it. Oh, you like it? Let me take it. You like the jacket? I'll mail it for you. And that was me. But I just stopped and learned to say no. When I give is because I have, make sure you have more than enough. Make
Yes.
sure
Yes.
you have the time. Take care of yourself
Yes.
first. Don't
Yes.
go
Yes.
around pleasing
Yes.
everybody. If you can't afford to go, show up for them at another time. Go visit with them.
Yes.
You know?
And especially the emotional parts of it, the financial aspects, yes, it's there. People see the happiness, the glamour, and the face you put up front and think everything is well. But you're right, some of us have found a way to mask that. But for me, the challenging aspect is the emotional part. Like you said, going to events I really don't want to go to, doing things people ask me to do, help me with this write up, do this one because I don't, and I really don't want to, but emotionally, I don't want to disappoint them.
Yeah.
So I do see where you're coming from, and that takes so much of your time and energy. And
Yeah.
so when I read that, for me, that was the point because I'm really practicing that now, and I see the changes it's making in my life.
Yeah.
That was that. I mean, that was good. The next aspect you had for March, the month of March. I see you have it monthly, and I'm following it monthly because I do read the daily affirmations. I love affirmations. I've always loved daily affirmations. So I take it monthly and I go through them daily. And really, really, they're quite inspiring. They bring another side out of you, and it makes you believe in yourself a lot more. It makes you love yourself a lot more. It makes you
Absolutely.
know you can achieve whatever you set your minds to. So I really, really like that. I enjoy that every day. If you don't have the book, you should get it because it has the daily affirmations. I'm going to take you into March. Your
Okay.
March chapter is about embracing growth and transformation. Talk to our viewers out here today, as I have really, really, really enjoyed learning about some of these external things you do to embrace growth, to transform. What are some of these things you do? I read in the book, one of them you said was cutting off your beautiful long hair. I
Yeah.
read that. I'm like, oh my God. But I never really thought about the external things you do to let go. I always try to work on within, but that was a good point. Tell us about that.
So I struggle with letting go. I'm one of those people who give people, too many chances
Mhm,
because I believe that, people deserve, I want grace. I want you to give me grace. So I
mhm.
give chances and chances and hope people will change. And I've mostly been disappointed. So I have learned to just create my own closure and just
Mhm.
understand and accept that sometimes people don't even know that they're really hurting you the way they are,
Mhm.
and stop trying to let them explain to you why they did what they did. Just on,
That's true.
what I do with when stuff like that happens is try to really, I am big on accountability and taking responsibility. It's really look deep at what role did I play? Why
Mhm.
did that happen? Why did they treat me that way? What triggered them to do that? Because we're not always completely innocent. I mean, they might have treated us horribly, but I like to find out what role I played so I will never make that mistake again. And that's why I wanted closure. That's why I wanted people to have a sit down with me. Let's meet for
Mhm.
coffee, let's go out for lunch, let's do dinner. Tell me where I went wrong. So with the hair thing, I was going through all kinds of stuff. I mean,
Your volume is going off a bit, sweetie.
I know
Uh-huh.
the home office does that.
Okay, go.
That's
I got you
my
now.
bad.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I was going through a lot of stuff. I mean, it was around when I had to give up the home and raising the kids by myself, which was a big
You've
thing.
done an amazing job, my dear. You've done such an amazing job. I see your kids, and you've done an amazing job.
Yeah, thank you. So I had always told myself I will never have kids out of wedlock. So I made sure I got married. I waited 2 years before we started having children. I wanted them in a two-parent home. I wanted a home because I think a home gives you stability. We moved
Stability,
around.
that's right. It does give you
When I
stability. Yeah,
was younger, we moved around a lot. So I didn't want that to happen to my kids. I wanted them stay in the same place and have the same friends, give them
have
something I
friends.
didn't want,
Yes.
something I desired. And here I was, which is why, even when things were not going the way they should, I stayed because it wasn't
Yeah.
that horrible. I wanted to stay to give them that two-parent home. And then everything fell apart. And I'm thinking, okay, you can smile, you can wear the nicest clothes, you can help
Mhm.
others, but
Mhm.
how do you make a point? And
Mhm.
I was at the point where I had grown my hair, and we mixed race chicks, so
So
we tend
yes,
to have really long curly
nice, long,
hair.
fluffy hair. Yes.
My hairdresser had really worked hard with me, Tracy, and we had it at a good place. And I drove all the way, and I said, Tracy, cut it off. She said, I'm not doing it. Why would you do it? I said,
Mhm.
cut it off. First of all, I didn't want to be even thinking about doing my hair. Cut it off.
Mhm.
I just wanted to be free because I feel like it was part of the problem. Me trying to figure out, oh my God, you failed. I was thinking, I failed. I failed my children.
Mhm.
I failed
Mhm.
my mom. I failed my sisters. I failed my ex-husband because I was supposed to do more work, more work, more work. So
Mhm.
I just shaved it all off. And you know what? I want to go
Mhm.
back. It's the most beautiful feeling. You don't have to worry about a thing because when I wash my short hair, it's all curly and nice. And you just might see me with that hair again. I loved it.
So
So
that was, go ahead.
I
Mhm.
felt free. I felt
Mhm.
light.
That's
I
what I
felt
was gonna say.
what it did to me was make me feel like a new girl. So it just added to the idea of that freedom of being loose, a new girl,
Yes.
a
Yeah.
new
Yeah.
page. It was just
Yeah.
like a seal to everything that I was going through, like flip the page, write a new chapter. So just change everything.
Yeah, yeah. So some of those, the external part of it also helped. It was like releasing the baggage,
Yes,
making yourself feel free. So it could be like you cutting your hair off. It could be moving to a different state. It could be
yes.
changing houses. So
Hmm.
I think everyone should find what that is for them that would make them feel free and basically let the baggage go. I really liked that because most times we don't think about the small stuff, and those little things makes a big difference in your psyche. So that was good. Overall, from the book, you touched on every aspect: forgiveness, accountability, growth, all of those. Tell us a little bit about those.
Well, I call myself a lover girl. And when I say lover, it's not just about an intimate relationship. I love
Okay.
God. I love my mom. I love my children. I love my husband.
You're a loving person.
I love my friends. I mean, I love
Yeah.
so hard. So
Hmm.
when you love like that, you have to have forgiveness in you. I know
Yes.
I'm not perfect, so I make
Yes. So
mistakes
people do
sometimes,
make mistakes. Yes.
all the
Hmm.
time. Sometimes I say things off the cuff, and the person is not in the right space to accept it. And it's not because I mean, there is no intentionality to hurt, but they're not in a good space, so they didn't receive it well. So I want people to forgive me. And I am a big proponent of going back when I realize I've hurt someone, call them and say, hey, I don't think you were feeling that joke. What did I say that was wrong? And we talk over it, you know? So forgiveness is a great thing. And it's not for the people. It's not for that person. It's for yourself. Because I know when I feel like I have triggered somebody, I
Hmm.
don't do well at night. I don't feel
Toss
good.
and turn. Yes.
I, I,
Yes. Yeah.
and therein comes the closure part, but some people are not
Yeah.
going to give you closure. So I do what I have to do to close it. If I have to send them
Hmm.
a little text, say, hey, I recognize that you didn't like that, but I just want you to know that if I hurt you in any way, I'm sorry. I'm not looking for an explanation. I'm not telling them that, but I'm going to put the apology out there. And it's good for us to take accountability for everything and anytime with anything. How else are you going to learn?
Yes.
If
Yes.
you're not
Yes. Yes.
accountable for the role that you play, whether you do well, you fail
Hmm.
or pass, you got to go back
Yes.
times
Yes.
10
Yes.
to see
Yes.
what did I do wrong and what did I do right. Don't just
Yes.
look at what you did right, because what you did right, you're going to add to that recipe to keep doing
Hmm.
it, to keep doing more good things. Now, what did you do wrong? Because you don't want to be a repeat offender. So
Hmm.
I am big
Hmm.
about forgiveness, taking accountability,
That's good.
and
That's
give
good.
me grace. I want people to give me grace. I want you
We all
to,
make mistakes. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I don't
Yeah.
want you to judge me. If you see me today and I'm not the usual self, don't think it's because I have something against you. It's probably because I'm going through something, maybe health, maybe
Yes.
maybe with my children,
Yes.
maybe I'm fighting with my husband,
Yes.
maybe my
Yes.
mom after.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
unless you know the story, do not pass any judgment. If it's
That
not
is
nice
so
to zip, zip it.
That is so true. That is so, so, so true. And I'm not here to sell your book, but like I said, if you don't have this already, you should get it. Like I said, most of my main thing I love about the book are the daily affirmation. The stories are awesome, but the affirmations are excellent. How has that helped you as a whole? How has that helped you grow into the person you've become?
I would tell you, you know, when they say practice what you preach, I did not think this book will be so impactful to me directly and personally. The book has become my therapy. Even when I want to kick off, when sometimes people really get to you,
To
and
you? Hmm.
I have to say, Annise, you said it in your book. And
How to
writing the book,
practice what you
yeah,
preach.
was so therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a lot more than that. When I wrote it, I decided not to put so much out there for respect for certain things and certain people. You got to respect people's spaces. I
Yeah.
cried a lot when I first wrote the book, because of some of the things that I had to endure, some of the things
Mhm.
that I feel like people did not do right by me. But it was so therapeutic. And now I totally live by my book. How are you going to go around and tell people to find your inner joy, forgive people, give them grace, and people looking at you like she was mean when we met her at the cocktail bar. I want people to read my book, and when they meet me, to say she is exactly like her book.
Well,
I
the
want to
book.
be that
Yeah.
example. So it's been like therapy for me, and it's a big reminder to do right, to live up to the expectations of my book. So I've really
Yeah.
tried to do that.
Yeah. One of the reasons I get so engrossed with the book is I'm one also for positivity. I love happiness. I love fun. I love positive things around me. My word for 2025 is growth. So a lot of growth is in this book. So for me, there's a lot of things reading this book. I mean, it brought to my attention. Some things were hidden in the back, and reading it and going through some of the stories and all, I could resonate with that. I could understand that. So really, really, it's a good book. You poured your heart out to everyone, but you you also helped a lot of us by reading through this book. Yes. I can't go further without recognizing and thanking you. As an old girl myself of St. Joseph's Convent, Annise, I want to thank you so much wholeheartedly for your service to the organization over the years. You've served selflessly. We've had disagreements about how you serve. We've come back together. There's so many different personalities. Dealing with women is not easy. We all have our personalities, and you've managed to navigate through that over the years. And I want to thank you on behalf of myself and everyone of St. Joseph's Convent. You've given what I can't personally give: your time, your love, your effort, all the fundraising activities you've done, which has helped thousands of kids back home in Sierra Leone and has also helped St. Joseph's Convent to still stand as the #1 school out there. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for that.
Why are you going to... No, I don't know why. Because this is a job. Thank you. I was not supposed to do that. This is a tough.
No, it's okay. It just shows how passionate you are. It just shows how passionate you are.
This is tough because I don't get paid to do it, and I don't get thank yous. So this is thank you. I'm very passionate about it. I am a scholarship recipient, and I feel like a lot of women help to build me up. So whatever I'm doing it because I want these girls to know that other people believe in them, and we see them, and we want them to become us. And the education system back home is not built for them right now to help them to thrive, and it hurts my heart. And when I hear people say she's doing this for clouds, what clouds? We give so much of our time. Yesterday, I had to leave my mom to go represent the organization because these things keep us in the front. So they recognize what we do, so the girls can look up to us. When you do volunteer work, and I know you do volunteer work yourself, so thank you for what you do for the kids back home. I see what you do every Christmas. I see what you do.
Yes, thank you.
It takes a big part to give back. We could just go and buy another pair of shoes. You all know I love shoes. But
you can never have enough shoes. You can never have enough.
You have to have the right heart to give back. But it's very tough when you're doing it on the kind of platform and you working with so many personalities and people don't see the good work. And we don't do it for the thank yous. But if you don't have a thank you, don't say anything, because this is tough work. But it's fulfilling.
It is.
I just got a report card from one of my mentees, and we're doing well. The organization is doing well. And yes, we have great leadership, and I am proud to be its leader right now. I mean, I'm on my last leg. Last term, I'll end it in December, but I am so happy that I was given that opportunity to lead. I've learned so much being in that atmosphere, leading in that platform, because it taught me so much. And leadership that I can take in my world of, HR world, in my career world. And I have used it, and if I was to die and come again, I will do it again, because it's and I've met amazing women, and I have learned how to deal with my own personalities and grow as a leader. So I thank the organization for putting me in, trusting me with that very, very important role. I thank you for thanking me, really.
You're welcome. What message would you say you need? What message of encouragement can you give to women out there as we wrap up? Women who might be going through any of the issues mentioned in this book, what encouragement can you give to them? Letting them know they can do it. They can face whatever the trials are. What encouragement can you give?
So women, we're so strong. I want you all to know that. Bad girls out there, super women, you are strong. Okay, first of all, you have to understand your strength. The strength that we have as women, we can. I tell people, I used to carry my grocery and have I had 2 kids back to back, and then I had a 3rd child. We're strong inwardly and outwardly. Our minds can do so many things, and together we can do even more. Don't underestimate yourself. You want to do it, go for it. No matter how many times you fall, keep going. One thing I want people to remember, and I say this, you know how they say that business of kicking down on closed doors? I do not like that. It's like forcing someone to love you. It's like forcing people to allow you to go visit in their home. If the door is closed and you've knocked and say, hey, it's me, I'm outside. I came with a pie, I brought a dish, and they're
They
closing the
don't
door.
open.
They
Yeah.
don't want you in there. Go
Mhm.
visit
Yeah.
another friend, find another door. So
Yeah. Yeah.
find your own niche. If you want to be a singer, you want to be an accountant, and it's not working, find what works for you. Keep trying until you find what works for you.
Yes.
Stop being in places that bring you down. Stop being in circles that don't uplift you. You don't have to stay there because they're leaders. Sometimes it's the quiet friends, the quiet circle that will uplift
Yeah.
you. And
Yeah.
people, these women want to be in circles, and I think we've all been there. This loud circle, this big circle. It doesn't have to be a big circle.
Yes. 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 Yeah.
Maybe it's your
Yeah.
mom. I don't
Yes.
care,
Yeah.
but find one person that will cheer you on genuinely. And we know when
Yes.
people are not for us, but we think they're going to change. So love yourself.
Love
Learn
yourself.
to say
Yes.
no. Learn
Uh-huh.
to say no.
Yeah.
Find things that will
The
relax
power
you.
of no. Yes.
Going outside, starting a garden, learning
Mhm.
to crochet. I don't care what you
Yeah.
have to do.
Yeah.
It takes your mind off of the regular, challenges, the trials and tribulations. Don't be in a relationship just because you want to have a man or whatever by your side. Be in there because they add to you, not because they elevate you,
Mhm.
because they
They
add.
add to you. That's
They
true. They
are your
add to your
companion.
value.
You're not looking for someone to elevate you. If you
Mm-hmm.
don't have a companion in someone, let it go, girl. You don't need that. So because
It's
people
a
are
good
stuck
one.
in places that don't bring value to them,
You to
you know,
you.
and
Yeah.
it's just because. So find people that empower you, find people that uplift you, find people that believe in your dreams, that push you to reach those dreams and reach those goals. And if you're in circles that you're stuck in and don't think they're doing it for you, release it. It's hard.
Release it.
It's so
Yeah.
hard at
Yeah.
first, but you will learn. You will recognize that you were in such a bad place, and just finding a
Thank
new
you. Thank
and
you.
being with
Thank you.
yourself is good. Learn to
Yeah.
be with yourself.
With yourself. Thank you so much, Annise. Thank you. I really appreciate this. And I want to put it out there that failure is part of success. So just like Annise said, don't be scared to fail. You cannot move to the next level if you don't try. So try all you can. And lastly, if you don't already have this book, please get it. But then she smiled. Annise, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you. And I hope together we'll be able to inspire a lot of women out there or help some women going through some of these difficult challenges to know they can do it. Looking at you, gone through all of that, and you still standing looking beautiful as you are. I hope that message goes out to whoever needs to hear it today. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you for having me, and I hope we get to do this again.
Exactly. Bye.